Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a wonderful weekend and a very, very good day. Sorry that I couldn't exactly shoot the last episode on Friday. That was a bit of a very much of a conventional crisis, but I'm here now and I'm very quietly present. Anyway, today we are to talk about Lord Six, who is a very ancient and powerful villain who's quietly determined to conquer planet Earth for his own ambition, for his people's ambition, and for his kind's ambition. Throughout the following centuries, Lord Six has plagued planet Earth with many, many, many chaos and manipulation through chaos and manipulation and through chaos and manipulation and the manipulation of wars and chaos and by fighting and having a conflict with the universal heroes and with the intergalactic coalition and with the four nation hunters. All over the following years, Lord Six has been determined and has been quite very ambitious to conquering planet Earth for his people and for the rest of his sacred planet and for the rest of his kind and for the rest of his secret society and also for his ultimate goal. Within this time, Lord Six is very ambitious and very quietly determined to rule planet Earth no matter what. He believes he's destined to conquer and ruling planet Earth as making him the savior and a godlike being to the rest of humanity and also to his people. With this quietly left unsaid. Over the following centuries, Lord Six began rebuilding his civilization through his home planet known as Planet Six for the Six Nation Hunter since he's the founder and leader of the Six Nation Hunter and also of the secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Six. In doing so, Lord Six exactly built a big civilization for his people and for his kind, for his people to settle upon, and for his into expanding his entire nation and the entire civilization of his people throughout the rest of the sacred universe. In doing so, Lord Six became to believe that it wasn't quite enough that he'd expanded and his entire civilization on his home world, known as Planet Six, and the rest of his home and the rest of his home civilization. He believes that his people needs to become the ruling species throughout the rest of sacred existence and throughout the rest of the known universe. So in doing so, he came to believe that his people are destined to rule humanity and ruling and becoming the ruling species of planet Earth. In doing so, he began planning and coordinating attacks and coordinating sacred attacks in order to be conquering planet Earth and the rest of humanity for the following centuries. His plans were quietly thwarted though by the intervention of the Four Nation Hunter founder known as Four, and Two, the Two Nation Hunter the founder of the Two Nation Hunter Two, and Three of the Three Nation Hunter, the Three Nation Hunter founder Three, and Five of the Five Nation Hunter founder of the Five Nation Hunter Five, who were able to prevent his plan. They were able to fight in a mysterious valley. The hunters exactly clashed over the ancient supervillain known as Lord Six and were able to prevent his plan. They fought for several centuries, able to prevent Lord Six from conquering planet Earth over the following centuries, preventing him from conquering planet Earth and conquering it and exactly trying to exactly rule from it. In doing so, the prevention of his conquest was exactly prevented and was exactly stopped by any means necessary by the intervention of the Four Nation Hunter heroes and by the other founders and the other founders of the other hunters able to prevent his plan. Despite this, Lord Six wasn't quietly going to give up that easily after he fought with the members of the other hunters, and he discovered that the other reason that they couldn't exactly conquer his plan. In doing so, he set a new plan in motion in order to wait and study everything, in order to wait and study and be patient with his plans, in order to study how humanity is evolving and how the Four Nation Hunters and the Two Nation Hunters and the Five Nation Hunters and the Three Nation Hunters will exactly attempt to prevent his plan from conquering planet Earth and from becoming ruling humanity by force by any means necessary. In doing so, Lord Six became patient, ruling his people with an iron fist, expanding his home planet and his home civilization over the following centuries, exactly ruling it, discovering his new abilities, his new powers, his immortal strength, and his capabilities of superhuman speed, superhuman strength, and superhuman strength and regenerative healing, immortality, endurance, agility, makes him a very powerful strategist and a powerful tactician able to use his abilities in order to work or in order to work with these people, to able to work with these people and study their abilities to see if they have the same abilities and quite the similar abilities as he possesses. But unfortunately, they did not exactly possess the same abilities as the leader and lord of his people. Of his people, some of his people possess the ability of superhuman speed and telepathy and super strength and super agility, endurance, and also the ability of swordsmanship and hand-to-hand combat, and the ability of healing, and the ability of memory, of mind control, and the ability of enhanced healing, and the ability of absorbing attacks and redirecting attacks, all of those abilities. In doing so, Lord Six decided to use his people's abilities in order to launch a last assault and a last attempt to reconquering planet Earth. In doing so, the Four Nation Hunter founder, known as Fourth, found out about the full-scale invasion on conquering planet Earth in the 20th century, which he was able to prevent with the help and intervention of his people. Thanks in doing so, by doing so exactly, Four fought with Lord Six and his people and his kind, and they fought variously. The battle from two sides was enormous. Two sides suffered enormous amounts of casualties. Four Nation Hunters and Six Nation Hunters fought as they both suffered enormous amounts of casualties and were unable to recover from the battlefield. As the battlefield became more dark and more dark and more twisted, worlds were quietly turned into a stain of temples were turned into a battle arena, and everything else was shattered and destroyed with battleships and battle cruisers fighting each other on top of the skies. Some forces were decimated, other forces were not exactly completely decimated. Lord Six used a powerful ancient sword known as the energy sword in order to kill the founder of the Four Nation Hunters. He was almost successful, but the two Nation Hunters came in time and intervened and prevented Lord Six from killing Fourth before he stabbed him in his stomach and prevented that from happening exactly, which was exactly prevented due to intervention of the two Nation Hunters. After the intervention and the interference of the two Nation Hunters, Lord Six and his people opened up a portal by teleporting away and opened up a gateways and teleporting away quickly through another planet and throughout the central command of their homeworld, and were able to reconvene. And he told his people to lay low and to keep the operations tight, and by keeping the people safe and keeping and expanding their worlds and their borders by any means necessary, which was able to exactly happen. The Six Nation Hunters were quietly able to tell their frustration to their master and leader, and they were very not quietly pleased with the results they were able to get. But they were told to remain calm and to remain patient, as they was to try another attempt to conquer and reconquering planet Earth for their mission, and also for their conquest to exactly happen, and also for their grand vision. Over the following years, Lord Six remained hidden, and yet he planned to thrust humanity through chaos and through poverty and through fear, through the events which he casted into all the following centuries. The Four Nation Hunters and the United Heroes were able to prevent his attacks and his sinister attempts to conquering planet Earth in a different strategy. In doing so, after a year later, Lord Six formed an alliance with the most powerful alien villains to join forces with him, which was able to form a powerful secret society known as the Secret Society of the Order of the Six, where he became the founder and leader of the Secret Society of Supervillains, in order to exactly help him conquering and reclaiming his rightful place on conquering planet Earth and the rest of the other planets throughout the known universe and throughout the rest of sacred existence by any means necessary. After hearing of the demise of the Lord of Magic, fallen by Universal Man and the Universal Heroes, Lord Six and the Order of the Six decided it's time that they proceed with their next plan in order to be conquering and reclaiming their home world, and their home planet known as Planet Earth, for their own ambition and for their own goal, and also for their own goal. The members of the Order of the Six also extensionally agreed with the leader of the secret society, and they decided it's time that they proceed with the next plan in reconquering Planet Earth and exactly removing the Universal Heroes. The members of the Shadow Empire warlords exactly were able to form an alliance with the members of the Order of the Six and saw their loyalty and their infidelity to the Order of the Six and to Lord Six by offering them destructive technologies and dark technologies as part of their partnership and part of the deal that they exactly had with the Shadow Empire warlords. In return, Lord Six will provide the Shadow Empire warlords with endless worlds and with endless civilizations for them to conquer and reclaim, and by clashing with the Intergalactic Coalition. In doing so, the Universal heroes were able to prevent the Shadow Empire from conquering vast worlds and vast civilizations, and were able to exactly deliver a major victory by helping the Intergalactic Coalition able to exactly liberate many worlds and many planets. The Shadow Empire warlords were not exactly displeased, were not exactly even quietly happy. They're not even exactly quietly happy, and frankly, not exactly quietly pleased with the defeat they were able to get. But the members of the Order of the Six and Lord Six himself reassured them that they will exactly reconquer all the worlds and all the other planets if they help them conquer planet Earth, which it was exactly a fair deal and a fair agreement, which they all exactly agreed from exactly. 2 years after this, 2 years after they reconvened, after their meeting, they exactly met on a video conference with the members of the Order of the Six and decided to inform the Lord and Master of the Order of the Six and reassured them that they will conquer all the planets and all the worlds by fighting with the Intergalactic Coalition head-on. The members of the Order of the Six were quietly reassured and were quietly pleased with the outcome and with the confidence that the Shadow Empire warlords were giving exactly. And Lord Six himself was very quietly stopped, but very quietly quiet. He was exactly hoping to see where will this battle exactly lead. The battle between two sides of the Shadow Empire warlords and the battle cruisers of the Intergalactic Coalition and of the Shadow Empire fought. Two sides were decimated by a heavy explosion, by a secret weapon used in order to decimate all the other battleships and the other battle cruisers throughout sacred space. And also, in order to do so, some of the Shadow Empire warlords were able to escape through a portal, and those were able to be teleported by the dark magic users known as the Seconds, and were able to exactly vanish away. Some were able ultimately taken into custody by the Galactic Coalition to be questioned and to be asked questions about who they're partnering with, who they're exactly teaming up, and who they're exactly working with, but they weren't able to exactly get through. Fourth, who was a member of the United Heroes, were able to come into the interrogation, asking questions exactly who's exactly ordered the major attack and the major assault on attacking the Galactic Coalition and reclaiming planet Earth exactly. But the members of the Shadow Empire warlords weren't still not exactly able to ask questions, and weren't exactly still able not to exactly rat out their leader or to exactly betray their lord and masters and their partners, which they exactly didn't. The members of the Order of the Six and North Six were very quietly pleased with their results and were very quietly pleased with the outcome. They are very happy. The members of the Shadow Empire warlords were exactly happy that the other worlds and the other planets were secretly being conquered under the watch of the Intergalactic Coalition, and they're still exactly being conquered. All the other worlds and all the other planets had been regained and recontrolled by the Order of the Six, as the other Shadow Empire warlords are able to represent to Lord Six and to the members of the Order of the Six. And Lord Six was very happy and very quietly pleased that the half of the other planets and half of the other civilizations are now back under the control of the Order of the Six. He told the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches that he exactly thanks them for their service and for their work and for their commitment to the cause, and that he'll be very happy to thank them for their services again. If they ever need anything else, they will exactly assist the Order of the Six by any means necessary, forming an alliance with the most powerful dark magic users known as the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, the Dark Faithful, the Ice Children, the Ice Witches, the Ice Druids, and the Water Children. Lord Six is very ambitious in his goal and very determined to conquer planet Earth by any means necessary. His obsession and his arrogance made him believe that his people and his kind are destined to rule humanity with an iron fist and are destined to conquer planet Earth by any means necessary. Despite this, Lord Six is very strong and is a founder and leader of the Six Nation Hunter, and also of the secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Six, forming alliances with other powerful alien super criminals in order to further his own goal and his own ambition by conquering planet Earth and utilizing their resources for his own schemes and his own mission, and by forming alliances with other Shadow Empire warlords using the destructive technologies and the powerful technologies in order to reconquer planet Earth and thrusting humanity through chaos and through destruction for them to fight and control humanity through all the chaos that he has plunged them by any means necessary. Despite this, he despises the universal heroes and he sees them as an obstruction in his quest to conquer planet Earth, in his rule to conquer planet Earth, in his quest to conquer planet Earth. He'll do whatever it takes to get rid of them and to get rid of the Intergalactic Coalition. Despite this, Lord Six is extremely intelligent and he's extremely a master strategist and a master tactician. He's very patient and very determined and very ambitious with these people as he expanded his home planet known as Planet 6, building temples and building sacred hiding spots and individual bases for his secret society to operate, even the central headquarters for his secret society to operate, which he uses his home planet for his secret society to communicate and to reconvene at the central headquarters for his members, for the members of the Order of the Six to reconvene, to meet and discuss. They even exactly meet on video conferences, and they exactly hide and protect the individual bases in order to exactly keep them secretive for their meetings to discuss in video conferences and to reconvene and to discuss the operations and the meetings, forming alliances with other criminals in order to use their powerful resources for his ultimate goal and for his ultimate scheme to conquering planet Earth and all the civilizations throughout the sacred universe in order to exactly rule it with an iron fist by any means necessary. Despite this, Lord Six is very ruthless and he does not show any mercy to any hero or any being. His hatred for 4, 2, 3, 4, for 4, 2, and 3, and 5 is very, very, very despiteful and is very, very filled up with hatred against the other nation hunters, and he hates them no matter what, because they exactly became the obstruction of his quest to conquering planet Earth. And despite this, Lord Six is very immortal. He's so immortal. He's a very immortal hunter. He has lived over for centuries, planning to conquer planet Earth, planning, organizing, strategizing his plans, planning to ruling all the other worlds and all the other civilization. Even when he heard the demise of his former colleague known as the Lord of Magic, he was very not quietly displeased. He was very quietly unhappy and very quietly, deeply saddened by his passing on the Lord of Magic, and hear the news of his demise brought up by the universal heroes made him even more angry, because in the past century the Lord of Magic supplied Lord Six with everything he wanted: dark crystals, dark crystal technologies, dark magic users known as the Dark Faithful, the Dark Witches, the Dark Druids, and the Ice Children, and the Water Druids, and the Ice Druids, and the Ice Faithful, and the Seconds were a group of dark magic users in order to help him expand his home planet, turning it into a central headquarters for his secret society to operate, for them to meet and discuss, and also to maintaining bases using dark crystal technology to plant bombs and detonations across planets and across worlds to destroy them, and also to supply the Shadow Empire warlords with enough technology and with enough worlds and with enough planets for them to rule and conquer, and frequently clashing with the Intergalactic Coalition, a group of rebels who are working with them, who are coordinating and working hand in hand with the Universal Heroes and with the United Heroes and with the Universal Space Heroes, for them to preventing these super villains and these super criminals from conquering planets and civilizations throughout the sacred universe by any means necessary. Despite this, Lord Six is very powerful and he's very cunning and he's very, very determined, and he does not give up in his mission or in his quest to conquering planet Earth by any means necessary. He's a very powerful villain and he's a very determined villain, forming alliances with other super villains: War Power, Death Witch, and Ghostmaster, and Metal Face, and Dark Light, and the Seconds, and and the seconds, and the dark druids and the dark witches and the faithful, the Lord of Magic, Black Mask, Ghostmaster, and Dark Witch Laura, and all the other villains. Despite this, his alliance with them has brought him great power and great instability in his home planet and his home civilization, and his grand plan and his grand vision to conquering planet Earth and to ruling humanity, which he believes is so destined to exactly rule. Well, I all hope you enjoyed this episode, and I all hope you have a wonderful day and a very beautiful day. Stay safe, and it was very quietly good talking with you all. Stay safe and stay well. Bye.